right, good morning to everybody, and a very warm welcome to Maretha Gerber, who is Vice President Sales and Marketing of Daimler Truck Southern Africa. Maretha has kindly given us some time off from wandering around the IAA show in Hanover. Now, just to explain, that show is one of the biggest shows in the world, and it highlights and showcases what is coming out of Europe for the rest of the world, not only for Europe. And that is why Maretha is there. She goes there as representing South Africa, looking what is applicable to us. And also what happens at the IAA show is that we pick up the trends that are happening overseas and what we can expect in the future. We also pick up what the R&D, the research and development activities of the OEMs are. We pick up future developments, prototypes of future developments. It's an amazing show. And Maretha, thank you so much for taking time to tell us what you've seen over there. First of all, did you have apple strudel and cream for breakfast?
Yes, I think I did. Thank you, Patrick. Yeah.
Wonderful. You can't go there to Germany without apple strudel and cream.
Absolutely.
All right, Maretha, what are the trends you're picking up? Just to go back, I remember one year the emissions was the overall trends. And what are the trends that you're picking up there now at IAA? What are we looking at?
Thanks, Patrick. Look, the buzzword is alternate drivetrains and e-mobility solutions. Almost everywhere you look, it is e-vehicles or e-solutions and sustainable transportation solutions for the future. That is 100% to the same trend as what on our stand is taking place, leading sustainable transportation. Big focus on e-vehicles. What was really interesting is the various different solutions towards battery electric vehicles, different types of battery solutions, different type of configuration solutions between the OEMs. Some of the stands are predominantly or only e-vehicles. Other stands have a combination of them, and some have very little e-vehicles, but still E as one of the core messages that is coming out of the show. So definitely looking into the future and going for the sustainable solutions of battery electric vehicles is the dominant trend that we see.
So that is what Europe is concentrating at the moment. Is this a reality in Europe at the moment, or is this for tomorrow and 2030 or something? Or are these vehicles on the road that you've seen on the show?
So Patrick, I think it is a reality. Is it for immediate transition right now? I don't think so. It is probably because a lot of the legislation is driving this emission-free solutions. You will see the transition in Europe far faster than you would see it in other countries, like, for instance, South Africa, where legislation is not driving it yet. So for me, I think in Europe, we will definitely, especially in the short haul distances like inner city transportation, we will see e-transitioning very quickly. And that will definitely be something to happen in the next 3 to 5 years quickly. What is the big discussion on the stands is, you have the truck, do you have the infrastructure? And the chicken and egg situation needs to still take place across the world. And we need to join forces between the transportation companies, the government and ourselves to get both the infrastructure, the willingness and the trucks together at the same time. So it is going to happen. It has to happen. It is legislative in a lot of European countries already. So the reality is, for South Africa, I think we're slightly behind in terms of that, particularly more so if we talk about infrastructure. But that said, I think we are 100% committed to going this route. Maybe different timelines, but that is the future strategy.
Okay, that's interesting. Because I would imagine on the Mercedes-Benz, they've been working. They've just recently launched the e-Actros long haul, and the big news, of course, is the Fuso e-Canter, which was recently launched in Japan, and I think that could be more suitable to South Africa because the infrastructure is lacking for the long haul. Yeah, and Maretha, I just want to talk reality of South Africa. What you've seen over there is first world at its best. Now I know that Daimler Truck, Traton, and Volvo have joined hands in rolling out infrastructure on the main highways in Europe. They're looking at 1,700 infrastructure charging points. That's all very well and good. You know, that's good for Europe, but we're not going to have that for a long time. So I think our reality, and see if you're picking this up, our reality at this stage leans more towards the Fuso e-Canter, of course, which in South Africa also falls under your banner, more for the short haul, intercity, maybe courier, online shopping delivery. Would I be right in assuming that?
Yes, to a large extent, I think you're spot on, Patrick. However, maybe just to elaborate a little bit on the Daimler Truck global strategy, we are not just going E. It is clear that we have e-solutions for the shorter distances, you know, up to maximum 500 kilometers. I mean, the long-haul e-Actros that is here on the stand and was launched is probably not going to be the solution for South Africa. The second key focus area for us, which I believe will in future be the solution for South Africa, is hydrogen.
Is that being highlighted there, hydrogen? Is that on the show?
Absolutely. On the stand here, I will send you a picture of it. There's a Gen H2 truck here that is actually a physical truck, 100% operative and being tested as we speak. So that, I believe, is the future solution for South Africa. So when we talk about South Africa's solution, intercity, e-Canter, e-Actros, E300, E400 can definitely do the job for your bigger distribution vehicles that still needs to be in city. The range is there, the capability is there, the payload's there. When we talk long haul, hydrogen for the future, but in the short term, and this will stay with us for years, is better diesel. So we are also clearly investing in diesel technology still, because we believe that there will still be a need for it. And we know in South Africa and Africa, diesel will be with us for many years to come. So as Daimler, we focused on E, hydrogen, and diesel investment.
Yeah, I want to come to the diesel now, but just again, Maretha, you in the first world R&D development that the rest of the world inherits from Daimler Truck overseas. But our reality over here, you know, and I really want to get to, because there's a lot of confusion about the electric truck over here. It's all very well over there. And I attended the remote launch of the e-Canter in Japan. Fascinating and absolutely brilliant. They've expanded the range, but at the same time, they've expanded infrastructure and all that. We are looking at power outages. We have to finish this interview before 12 because the power outage comes on. We are looking at 4 hours now on stage 6, gone back to stage 5. This is our reality over here. Eskom is, you know, affordability, fuel price increases, etc. Eskom is looking at a 35% increase next year. We are facing an energy crisis in South Africa. So how realistic is it? You know, do we get our hopes up that we're going to get this wonderful technology that you've seen around you there now? Or do we just hang in? And if we do, there's still hope for diesel. Diesel is going to be around a long time. What's your opinion? I mean, are we being real in South Africa?
Look, Patrick, I'm the ever optimist. Yes, we have our electricity challenges in terms of the entire country. But what we see, and even more so now, and it's probably the outages that's driving this, is the investment of our customers and their customers investing in solar electricity and investing in the ability to continue without being 100% dependent on Eskom. And with that kind of trends that we're seeing in some of the key customers that we already have in South Africa, I believe that E is definitely still an option that will come to our country. I mean, for South Africa, we'll be able to offer series production E vehicles from 2024 already. So I'm already in talks with some customers where we're discussing infrastructure of solar energy together with charging stations at their depots, at their customers' depots, to be able to bring E to the country, and sooner than we think. So I think it is still realistic, depending on alternate electricity solutions through solar. And then the majority of the customer base will probably still remain with diesel for us for the time being. So yeah, I think it's still possible.
Okay, so our reality is that you've seen a way forward, but the customers are going to have to, infrastructure is going to be the problem, but if they go solar, then solar is going to be the entry point, I think, from what I'm hearing from you.
Yeah,
For the customers to install solar.
Yeah, I think that is probably the trend that I'm seeing in many of my customers and in our dealer network as well, that we're investing in solar, and we're investing in kind of a hybrid solution that is dependent on generators, that's dependent on the grid, as well as dependent on solar. So you have kind of an always on concept that you set yourself up for. And I think that's probably the way to go for those customers that want to bring E into their fleets. So I think many of us already moved to solar before the E solution was brought to the table. Yes. So I think that is probably going to be the way to go.
Yeah, the entry point is solar, and it'll be short distance distribution. I believe, and I heard Absolutely. Yesterday, I attended one of your dealers, Sandown Commercial Vehicles, had a show at Kadalinga. It was interesting, you know. But I believe one of your customers in Durban, as you said, you're negotiating with them, is actually very keen on going that route and he's looking at the investment, but starting with solar. You know, they're not relying on the electricity grid. They're starting on solar, they're providing their own grids almost.
100%.
So that,
100%.
Rita, the other thing I'd like to touch on, you know, is safety. Daimler has been amazing in the safety features that are introduced into its vehicles now, into its trucks right across the range. You know, active brake assist, lane departure limited. Those are like standard, and they're standard over here now. We've had a number of horrific crashes over the past couple of days. Last weekend, 21 people killed. It goes on and on, okay? Last night, I was at another accident scene on the way back from that Sandown Commercial Vehicles and Trailmax show, and there's another crash, you know, and the truck drivers rushed her. Safety features is a big accent of Daimler Trucks. What are you seeing? Is there an accent on safety? We're looking at electric, we're looking at saving the planet, but we also need to save lives. Do you see anything new in the safety arena that can be adopted in South Africa?
To be honest, Patrick, not at the short term that we see on the show. The main focus has really been on alternative drivetrain focus. However, if you look at the technologies we already have available in our vehicles, it's really about focusing on just enhancing that. For instance, there's now been a recent upgrade to the mirror cam, which we believe in South Africa is part safety and part efficiency as well. And there we are looking at improving the current technologies available to us to better the safety of our trucks. So not a dominant focus this year in IAA, but definitely still remains one of the core values and areas that we look at consistently.
Yeah, that's interesting, because one of the past IAA shows I attended, one of the main, like this year, e-vehicles is the trend. In the past was safety, you know, when all those wonderful safety features were being introduced to enable the driver to concentrate on his environment and get the truck to do a lot of the safety work. And so that's interesting, but I'm sure it never stops. You never stop looking at that. And if there's new ways, your R&D people will be on top of it.
Oh, for sure. And it'll be running changes as well. So I think that the safety matter is dealt with and will continue to be a research and development just to evolve it into a better space.
Right. Maretha, I said we'll come back to diesel. Of course, diesel's going to be around for a long, long time, even though we're all talking eMobility. I see the sign behind you there. And as you say, in the whole trend, there we go, eMobility solutions. The whole trend is around e-vehicles, e-truck, e-Puso, e-what, not e-Coli, okay? That's in Durban Harbour. But diesel is with us. What do you see there? Are you seeing anything new in the diesel? And what can we expect? Is there anything new from a Daimler truck or Puso coming out on the diesel front? In other words, the normal trucks that we're used to.
Absolutely. So, like I mentioned to you, Daimler specifically will remain focused on diesel, as well as one of our solutions. We are investing in the development of it. And obviously, the European space is moving towards Euro 7. And that's where the focus and technology will come from. And that will definitely benefit us in the long run as well. What does that mean for South Africa? We have to transform. We have to transform to Euro 5, Euro 6, Euro 7 in the future. Otherwise, our ability to bring products to market will be very, very limited. So I think diesel will remain with us, and we just need to, as a country in South Africa, move forward into the emission standards of Euro 5 and then Euro 6 for the future, and then very soon Euro 7.
Yeah, because our legislation is still in the bygone days of Euro 2. That's all we need. And you could have introduced Euro 5 long time ago. I know a lot of your customers have bought Euro 5. And you say Europe's on Euro 7.
On the way to Euro 7.
I read somewhere that Euro 7, you can go to sleep under the exhaust pipe of a truck and you'll be okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, last question. So it seems to me that the total focus this year and the total trends that are emerging are all about saving the planet, finding a CO2, get rid of CO2 from the trucks, make a secure future for our kids, our grandkids, the industry, and Daimler Trucks in particular is really looking at that seriously.
Absolutely. I think it is really about the sustainable transportation solutions that is the key trend here. That coupled with whatever you do as an operator need in your business, from the after-sales support service contracts, maintenance solutions, your telematics solutions, you see quite a lot of that on all of the OEM stands and other stands as well. And then obviously there's many other customized options available at the stand that you can look at from a configuration point of view. So I think the overall focus remains sustainable transportation, but the core of transport solutions is still visible throughout the show as well.
Fantastic. Last question, but you mentioned something that is important. Telematics. To me, telematics is a must. It's not a nice to have. There was accent when everyone was introducing telematics at the IAA. FleetWatch was one of the first to introduce it as a standard product, or as a, what do you call it, self-developed product, and it's in South Africa. Is telematics playing a big role over there? Anything new developments, or just ongoing accent on telematics as a tremendous transport aid for management?
Yeah, absolutely. Telematics remains a core focus in Daimler as well, and consistently looking at evolving the product. And I think we've in South Africa, being a first world country when it comes to transport solutions, if you look at our operators, they have adopted that strategy a long time ago. So telematics is absolutely critical. You see quite a large number of these solutions coming through, and new enhancements, better technologies, quicker, more information at the touch of a button solutions are definitely the focus. That will also be the core focus for us in South Africa. We are looking at simplifying and making it easier for the customer to manage his fleet and have full visibility of it at all times. So that is definitely still a core focus for us. What is also quite interesting is we see a lot of digital solutions that are brought from the OEUs to the customers. For instance, in Daimler Truck, we are launching for Europe now, My Truck Point, which is a virtual space that the customer can interact with, see information about the brands, about the product, and his fleet from a different perspective, not the telematics solution side. So definitely digitization still remains one of the core things that we look at as well, to bring ease of use of the truck for the operator.
You know, on that point, we're going to end, but isn't it amazing how digitalization and the digital era are taking? Look at you. You're 10,000 miles away from where we are, and we talking live. It's actually the digital era along with us, and yeah, that's coming. Interesting to hear that's coming up now. It's a trend of better communication. Maretha, I want to thank you so much. I know you've got a lot to do over there. You've got meetings and everything. You don't just look at what's going on. Just want to thank you for making the time to talk to our South African guys who can't make it to the IAA. And I do encourage you to go find some apple strudel and cream now. It's the best. You can't be in Germany without it, okay? Any other thing you want to say before we go?
No, I think, Patrick, once again, thank you very much for the opportunity to have a quick chat to you. Look, it's exciting times for us. It's the next couple of years will be a big thing for the automotive industry and the commercial vehicle industry as a whole. We'll be at different paces to different strategies and in different directions, probably for some time, until we all understand what is the perfect solution. But until then, I think we as Daimler in particular remain committed to bring solutions to our customers in the quickest way and most pragmatic way possible. So looking forward to the next 10 years, definitely.
That's fantastic. That's good news. You know, we're very privileged in the trucking industry to have companies like Daimler Truck keeping us up to date with international trends, bringing the latest technology to the operators in South Africa. And now it's all about electric vehicles this year, or electric battery-powered vehicles. So we look forward to what's going to happen in South Africa in the front there. And you can be sure with people like Maretha over there, she's going to be punting for South Africa in a big way. Maretha, absolutely. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the show and stay safe over there.
Thank you, Patrick. Same to you.